Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to share the top 6 niches to sell on Amazon KDP in 2026. Now guys, what's unique about these 6 niches is that you don't need paid ads or reviews to get sales. So if you are just getting started in Amazon KDP, or if you're trying to grow your business without spending money on paid ads, this video is going to be really helpful for you. As usual, I'll explain a lot of things here on camera throughout this video, but I'll also switch you over to my own computer and show you real examples of all of this on screen recording. Now guys, something else that I should mention is that for each one of these 6 niches, I've created a full step-by-step tutorial showing you my exact process of how to create a book in that specific niche. As always, guys, this video and all of those full step-by-step tutorials are going to be 100% free. So you don't have to pay for any of this in a paid course. Now guys, quickly, one last thing before we get into this video, and that is just a quick disclaimer. Amazon KDP is not a get-rich-quick business, so I don't want you to get the wrong idea. These are the best niches that I have found, and I'm willing to share them with you openly and even show you my full process of how to create books in them. But I have to say that there is no guarantee that just because you create books in these niches that you are going to get sales. Okay, so getting straight into this video, I think the fastest way to get to value here is just to switch you over to my own computer and start by showing you the first niche. So the very first niche here is a themed word search book. Now having a theme, and for this example, I've used national parks, that is a huge part of this strategy. Now to show you what I'm talking about here, this would be a Christmas themed word search book. And this would be a camping themed word search book. What's making this a theme is that the cover of this book is themed to Christmas, front and back. And then all the words inside here, they're all related to that theme. So these are all Christmas related words. What I have found with word search books is there's lower competition than a lot of other niches on Amazon KDP, simply because a lot of people don't know how to create word search puzzles. That is definitely something that we can use to our advantage. The second thing is that instead of creating general word search books, you have to narrow down to specific niches. Now there's 2 reasons for that. First, I can actually show you here. If you just search for word search books generally, you're going to be competing against really big sellers like the Smithsonian, which is just a massive brand. They have in-person libraries. They've been around since I think the 1800s, which is actually wild. Or you're going to be competing against these really big sellers where they have just big general books, thousands of reviews. So if you are going to go just the general word search book route, you're going to have to use paid ads. You're going to have a lot of reviews just to start ranking on the first page. Now, alternatively here, if you have a themed word search book, and again, we're just using national parks as an example, as you scroll through here, you're going to see that you have a lot less competitors, and the competitors that you are competing with have a lot less reviews. So 14 reviews, 0 reviews, 49 reviews, over 200 reviews. So that is really high for the niche, but that's okay. As you keep scrolling through here, you're going to find books that don't have any reviews and they're still ranking on the first page. That is what we are looking for. You want to find these themed versions of word search books that are ranking on the first page without any reviews. This is essentially telling us that there's open space on Amazon for us to create books in that same niche and not need reviews to organically rank on the first page. Now guys, before moving on to the next niche here, I do want to just clarify that you don't have to do all 6 of these niches. These are just the top 6 that I have found. You can watch this video through and pick out the niches that are most relevant to you or the ones that you like the most and just start with those and then come back to this video and pick different ones to do later. So with that being said, if you are interested in creating themed word search books, the full tutorial for this one will be listed down in the description below. It walks you through how to create the word search puzzles and everything, so you don't need any prior experience or skills in graphic design or anything like that in order to make these books. So guys, that will be linked down in the description below, but in order to keep this video moving along, let's go ahead and get into the next niche. All right, so moving right into the next one here, this is themed crossword books. So word searches and crosswords are similar types of books, but they actually have 2 different entire markets on Amazon. So when you look at the search data behind the scenes on Amazon, you will see that there are people searching for specific themes of word search books, and there are also people searching for specific themes of crossword books. So why not take advantage of both of these markets? Now again, for this, I'm just using national parks as the example for the theme to show you the results here. As you start to scroll through here, you will see that there are not a lot of competitors. This has 8 reviews, this has 0 reviews, ranking on the first page of Amazon with no reviews. Now, real quickly here, I do want to just share some credibility as to what I am talking about and how I know it works. When I'm looking at this book, which is actually ranking #1 for this search term on Amazon, this is using my personal title and subtitle template. The only place that I've shared that is in the full step-by-step tutorial that's here on the YouTube channel. It's the one that I will link down in the description below. So for this creator of this book, my hat's off to you. You've done a great job of using how I create my books, applying it yourself, and you're ranking #1 on Amazon. So that is awesome to see. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next niche. Just remember that the full tutorial for the crossword books is going to be linked down in the description below. All right, keeping this video moving along, let's get into the third niche, which is themed Sudoku books. So if you've noticed anything, the books that we are creating on Amazon KDP we have to be themed in order for this to work without using paid ads or needing reviews. We can't just go in here and create general word search books, general crossword books, general Sudoku books. They're just not going to sell unless you use paid ads to get those books shown. Now, when it comes to Sudoku books, we have a lot of these same advantages as word searches and crosswords. A lot of people don't know how to create the Sudoku puzzles, and they don't know that you need to create themed versions of them. Now, something that'll be really helpful for you to know if you're going to create Sudoku books is that you can't really go into hobbies of the Sudoku books like we can for crosswords and for word searches. It just doesn't work as well for Sudoku, but you can go into different behaviors or emotions. It's kind of the best way that I can put it. So things like calming, things like ADHD, things like anxiety, those are all really good niches for Sudoku. So for example, just looking up calming Sudoku books, as you start to scroll through here, you will see the same thing as the themed word searches and the themed crossword puzzles. You are not competing with a lot of big sellers. Now, I will say Brain Games is a big seller. However, they are paying to be here. That's why it says sponsored. Same with the second one here, sponsored. So they're actually running paid ads to be listed 1 and 2. So the first organic result is right here. So this is Amazon saying this is the best result we think. We are going to list that first on the first page of the search results. Now, something else you'll notice here, this is someone who watched my video on how to create Sudoku puzzles. They're using my title and subtitle. They followed my cover template to create this. And guess what? They're ranking #1 again, 5 reviews, just some more credibility that what I teach you guys in these tutorials actually works. So my hat's off to this creator. You're ranking #1. Same thing here, using the same strategy, ranking #2. Now, something else that would be good to mention here is that for the full step-by-step tutorials that I've created for each one of these niches, I have shown you my niche research process. So how I actually find all these good niches to go into. And once you know how to do that process, you can then go apply it and find all of these open niches for yourself. In a lot of the cases, there are thousands or tens of thousands of open niches. You just need to know the process of how to find those niches, and then you can create your own books in them. So with all that being said, if Sudokus are interesting to you, the full step-by-step tutorial will be down in the description, but let's go ahead and move on to the next niche. All right, so what the next one is a themed version of activity books. So again, we're using a theme here, just like all of the others, but instead of doing a specific type of puzzle book, we're doing activity books. Now, essentially what I found by looking at the search data on Amazon is that people are searching for not only word search books, but also crossword books and Sudoku books and activity books. And for each one of these, they're all looking for themed versions of them. These are all subsets on Amazon that we can take advantage of. So if you're asking what is an activity book, essentially what it is you put multiple types of puzzles all within the same book. So to show you some of these examples, again, we were doing national parks. This is coloring an activity book. It doesn't tell you what's inside of it, but activity book, sometimes it'll show you examples. So this has crosswords within it, possibly coloring. If we zoom in, we might be able to see hidden pictures, crosswords, mazes. These are all different types of puzzles. Now, personally creating these activity books, I've been doing word searches, crosswords, and Sudokus all in the same book. So let's say there's 90 puzzles total in the book. I'm just splitting it up by doing 30 word search, 30 crossword, and 30 Sudoku. This is kind of like the ultimate efficiency hack for creating these books, is you're doing the same process for creating a word search specific book, but you're just doing 1/3 of the book as those puzzles. And then the same process for crosswords, the next third, and Sudokus, the last third. Now, again, if you want to learn how to do these activity books, my entire process is explained in the full step-by-step tutorial. The link to that is down in the description below. All right, so moving on from here, we have 2 niches left. Let's go ahead and move into the next one. All right, so the next niche here is actually having themed blank books. So a great example of this is music manuscript paper. If you are a musician or you play an instrument, you will recognize this. It is the lined pages that you actually write out the song on. Well, what I found out is that there's actually a massive market for this. People are going on Amazon and they are purchasing these types of books, and you can print them with Amazon KDP. What's really cool about this one is you're not even creating a puzzle. There's actually page templates for this. So you can just literally click on the template, apply it to all the pages, and you really just have to create a unique cover. So this is just a really quick one to create if you want to get your toes wet in Amazon KDP. But in that video, I also show you how to find other types of themed blank books. I'll show you just one other example here. This would be a blank recipe book. And kind of to show you what that is, let's actually click on one of these. What a blank recipe book is giving you a template that you can actually write your recipes on, but there's no recipe on it. So you're just creating the template for people to write their family recipes or recipes as they create them. And that's all you're creating in this book. It is essentially a themed blank book. Now, if you are going to create these blank books, my best piece of advice I can give you is not to create the lined pages, just kind of the blank journals, and not to create the blank pages where it's just an empty notebook. I know a lot of people are saying that these sell and they are easy to create, but you have to understand that in order to get those to sell, you are competing with a ton of other people, so you likely are going to need to use paid ads. Instead, by having a custom theme for your book, you're creating something unique that someone is buying out of function. They are buying this type of book because they want the template to write their recipes in. They don't want to have to create the the template on blank paper every time. Now, speaking of function, that actually brings us straight into the last niche. So the last niche here is themed custom notebooks and logbooks. And I'll show you what I mean by this. Again, we have to have a specific theme in order to get sales without having paid ads or reviews. For this video, we're using bird watching notebook as the example, but as you scroll through here, you will see that you are not competing with many big sellers again, so you can rank on the first page. But I will show you an example of one of these. If you look at this one, for instance, done with Amazon KDP, if you look inside of this book, what I am talking about by these themed custom notebooks is something like this. So this is a custom made template that this person put in this book. And again, it's the same thing on every single page, but it is specifically made for that theme that you are targeting. So in the tutorial that's down in the description below for this one, it will show you how to find specifically what types of notebooks or logbooks people are searching for, and then how to custom create these templates so that you have a one-of-one template that no one else has on Amazon inside of your book. Just like the themed blank books we were talking about before, where people are buying it for a function, that is what people are buying in these books as well, just in a notebook or a logbook format. My best tip for this one is that this one works extremely well for hobbies or occupations where people actually need a logbook to keep track of what they are doing in that hobby or that job. I am literally watching the sales in these niches, and I just want to openly share all of this with you guys so that you can see the same success. All of the full tutorials will be linked down in the description below. Again, they are all 100% free to watch here on YouTube. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, just let me know down in the comments. I truly would be happy to help you out. And if you enjoyed this video, all I ask is that you leave a thumbs up. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I will see you all in the next video.